It's time to make a crucial decision. Are you going to Disney World in 2023, or are you holding off until conditions play a little more in your favor? Let's find out if this is your year for that epic trip to the most magical place on Earth or not. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. It's that time of year where you gotta come face to face with that all-important question keeping you awake at night, right? Is this the year you should vacation to Disney World, or are you better off waiting for 2024 or 2025 or even later? Now, I think we all realize that if that's the question keeping you up at night, that you're doing okay. But a Disney World vacation is a huge undertaking and it's very expensive. So making sure the timing of your trip is just right is gonna help you create less stressful memories and more magical ones instead. But I know you're probably looking for every sign pointing to yes, take the deal if you're watching this video. So let's start with pros of a 2023 Disney World vacation first. You should go to Disney World if first, you don't want major FOMO. The fear of missing out might be giving you a nice, healthy push into 2023 Disney World vacation territory. Not because you're not self-confident, not because you're not completely self-actualized, just because there's a lot going on in Disney World this year that everybody would want to see. There's been a ton of stuff announced for this year that we talked about in depth during our 2023 biggest Disney World updates video, but let me give you the Cliff's Notes version right now. After Hours events are returning to Magic Kingdom and Disney's Hollywood Studios starting on select nights in January for a less crowded park option for all you night owls out there. 2 new nighttime spectaculars, meaning fireworks shows, are coming to Magic Kingdom and Epcot in honor of the 100 Years of Wonder celebration, which will celebrate the 100th birthday of the entire Walt Disney Company. We don't know very much about the Epcot show yet, but we do know the fan favorite Happily Ever After song will be accompanying the new show in Magic Kingdom. The Tron Light Cycle Run high-speed coaster is finally opening at Magic Kingdom in the spring, and the Hatbox Ghost will be showing up in the Haunted Mansion sometime in 2023 as well. Basically, Magic Kingdom's gonna have a pretty busy year if you can't already tell. But Epcot's also gonna have another busy year as it gets ready to open the Journey of Water, inspired by Moana. That's a walk-through attraction that has tons to do with water, and I think it's gonna be very relaxing and wonderful. And the new festival hub, Communicore Plaza and Communicore Hall, will be opening in late 2023 as well. This will also be the year Figment gets his own meet and greet location again. Here's to hoping he still decides to dress in a fun Christmas sweater outside his Journey into Imagination ride too, but I don't think he will. And then we've also got a lot of new restaurants making their way into the Disney scene, like the Cake Bake Shop at Boardwalk Inn, Roundup Rodeo Barbecue at Disney's Hollywood Studios, Summer House by the Lake at Disney Springs, and Rosa Mexicano at Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Hotels. Whew! And who knows, with Destination D23 coming to Disney's Contemporary Resort on September 8th to the 10th, we may learn about even more happenings for the second half of the year. But if you're someone who's been waiting to return to Magic Kingdom until Tron finally decided to open in Tomorrowland, or you've been waiting to go to Epcot until Moana's first ever attraction is live and ready for you to walk through, then 2023 could be your year to experience the very things you've been anticipating all this time. Okay, the next pro for going to Disney World this year, you are prepared. That's right, if you've been around the channel long enough, you already know which things you need to have in place before your big Disney World vacation. These include knowing the ins and outs of the Lightning Lane services and keeping on top of any last minute rule changes that could happen for Genie Plus or the individual Lightning Lanes. It includes making those advanced dining reservations 60 days before your trip kicks off. Also securing not only your theme park tickets months in advance, but securing your park pass reservations too, especially if you plan on going when crowd levels are historically higher, like summer vacation or spring break or Christmas time. You should have your hotel room booked sooner rather than later, and saving a good chunk of money for meals, extra activities, just in case emergencies, and must-have souvenirs. And figure out how you're going to travel to, around, and from the property in the least stressful way possible. If I listed anything just now and you're like, oh, I actually didn't know about that, then here's the good news. Not being prepared currently doesn't mean you can't get prepared starting now and still be more than ready for a 2023 Disney World vacation. The DFB team and I have so many posts on our website and videos on our YouTube channel for you to refer back to that'll help you walk through each of those highly important Disney planning steps and more. Don't know where to begin? Down in the description, I'm going to link our ultimate guide to planning a Walt Disney World vacation post, which will go over all the basics of planning a Disney World vacay. But if you're already past the basic stage and you're ready for level 2 of vacation planning, then check out our new and best pro tips video for some more specific guidance that'll help you save money, maximize your time in the parks, and make your Disney day way easier on yourself. The next pro for going to Disney World this year, you may want to visit before prices hike up again. You already know Disney World is expensive, but prices aren't dropping, y'all, and probably won't be dropping anytime soon. In fact, they're more than likely going to increase again before 2024 rolls around, if price trends continue to follow the path they're traveling currently and have traveled for the last 10 years. So if you were hoping to wait things out until prices decrease, well, you might end up waiting forever. And that's all got to do with park demand. The more people visit the parks, the more in-demand experiences become, and the higher the prices spike to accommodate for that demand. According to Disney, consumer demand is continuing to outpace available park pass reservations, and that could mean more price increases on their way for park tickets, merchandise, and food. Last year, we saw hundreds of price increases sweep across menus and gift shops at the beginning of the year, and throughout 2022, we were also introduced to new surge price systems for Genie Plus, tickets, and Park Hopper add-ons, so Disney can easily and sneakily continue to raise prices as needed. But these increases don't have to completely unravel your 2023 Disney World vacation. Here are a few surefire ways to cut down on costs for this year's trip. 1. Create a budget with price increases in mind. When you're creating your vacation budget, you'll likely leave some wiggle room for emergency or last-minute costs. But you'll want to reevaluate those budgets since certain surge prices could increase just days before your trip. When making your budget, look at each area that could see a potential increase before your trip or during your trip, particularly where it comes to food, Genie Plus, and merchandise. Make sure you've left enough wiggle room in your budget to account for possible price increases. Best case scenario, prices don't increase and you'll have extra money left in your budget to spend on other things or take back home. Worst case scenario, prices do increase, but you'll be prepared as you've left enough room in the budget to make it work. You also want to know when those price increases typically hit. One of the best ways to be prepared for potential price increases is by knowing when those historically have happened, so you know what to expect. According to our friends over at All Ears, the months where Disney has generally announced the most price increases for tickets are June, followed by February and October. And when it comes to food, we saw hundreds of food-related price increases announced in January and again in October of 2022. This is something Disney has done before when they increased tons of food prices back in October of 2019. So getting the feel that October is a price increase month? Yeah, me too. Room rates also change in price throughout the year, and you should expect to see those go up as you get closer to busier time periods. Discounts tend to be offered during slower sessions, like after the holidays and when the back-to-school season is in session, to encourage guests to come out and visit because Disney misses you and your money. And make sure to buy your tickets early. If you already know what dates you'll be in Disney World, buy those tickets now. If you buy them early on, you'll lock in whatever price you bought them for. If Disney decides to increase ticket prices later, you will not have to worry about spending the extra money, and your ticket prices will stand even if they're more expensive when you actually travel. Another pro for going to Disney World this year, you want to see and experience one last time. Disney World is an ever-changing place, especially right now. But when new experiences show up, sometimes former experiences have to be sacrificed. We're cool with that sometimes, like how many guests didn't mind having to sacrifice Ellen's Energy Adventure in Epcot to make way for the backwards launch coaster Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Okay, don't come at me, Epcot fans. I'm a huge 80s Epcot kid too. But other times, the ache of loss lingers for longer than we care to admit, like how I wish Disney's Hollywood Studios could have let Great Movie Ride and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway live happily in the same park together without replacing one for the other. Whatever the case may be for you, these are the Disney World experiences receiving a curtain call in 2023. Disney Enchantment in Magic Kingdom and Harmonious in Epcot will be replaced by those two new nighttime spectaculars I talked about earlier. We're still uncertain when these final performances will be taking place, but if you sign up for the DFB newsletter, I can let you know just as soon as I hear an exact end date for either or both. Splash Mountain will be officially closing on January 23rd to make way for the new Tiana's Bayou Adventure Log Flume ride set to open later in 2024. That means Splash Mountain's final run date will be right there around January 22nd. So if you want to take one final plunge into the laughing place, you'll need to plan on making it out to the parks real soon. And Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration is finally coming to a close after an 18-month-long run. But even though the 50th anniversary shenanigans are wrapping up, you should still see some 100 Years of Wonder celebratory merchandise and experiences popping up here and there around the parks. Though if you want to visit the heart of the celebration, you may be better off heading to Disneyland instead. We're going to talk more about the potential recession that the US might enter at a later point, but keep in mind there's the very slight chance that if we do dip into a recession period, Disney World could offer up more discounts to encourage guests to keep visiting during those times. Now, I say this very, very loosely. According to Disney CFO Christine McCarthy, in response to questions about the impending recession, Disney won't use the discounts to the extent they used during the last recession, which happened back in 2008. However, they may explore more flexibility with annual passes, presumably because pass holders will continue to come to the parks, recession or not. Obviously, other discounts are still possible too, and we may see some slightly higher percentages off of certain resort stays and vacation packages, but we're probably not going to see those 40% off discounts for annual pass holders like we've seen in past recessions. Whatever the case may be, we'll let you know if we're starting to see more discounts pop up on Disney World's special offers, deals, and discounts page as we make our way further into 2023. All right, now it's time for the cons part of this video. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit you with a constant stream of negativity or anything. We don't do that here at DFB. And actually, some of the reasons you may want to hold off on a 2023 Disney World vacation could be pretty exciting. You should not go this year if you're waiting to hear more about what's coming later. Though Disney has announced several things that'll be added to the parks in 2023, many other things are still forcing us to play the waiting game. For example, we still have no idea when offerings like the Disney Dining Plan, annual passes for out-of-state residents, and Tables in Wonderland for locals, Disney Vacation Club members, and pass holders could be returning. And some announcements like Tiana's Bayou Adventure or the new Disney Vacation Club building currently being built at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort have already been announced for 2024, so there's no need to look forward to seeing them open in 2023. Even several announcements with an expected 2023 release date are still up in the air as far as we're concerned. We know Tron is expected to open in the spring, but what time in the spring? Early spring, late spring, smack dab in the middle of spring break? That would be a crowded nightmare. And let's talk about those slated late 2023 releases like Journey of Water and the Communicore Plaza and Hall in Epcot. Right now, these new experiences have us excited for the second half of the year, but that doesn't mean their loose release dates won't push back from a late 2023 reveal into an early 2024 release instead. Like Roundup Rodeo Barbecue, for instance. Poor thing, Roundup Rodeo Barbecue is going to be a Hollywood Studios table service restaurant, but it's had its fair share of setbacks since the closures. Disney revealed that the new opening date for this Toy Story Land would be toward the end of 2022, but now the release date has been quietly pushed back again for spring of 2023. This is why Disney doesn't like giving us exact release dates until they're feeling confident about the completion of a project. There's a possibility that the same kind of delays and pushbacks will happen for other 2023 releases too. Nothing's for certain until the thing actually opens. So if you'd rather hold off until the experience you're anticipating has gone live and is guaranteed to be available during your visit, then you may want to pump the brakes. Keep your ear to the ground and wait for a more concrete idea of what the future of these Disney World releases is actually going to look like. Another reason you might want to skip Disney World in 2023. Money is a sensitive subject right now. Many people are currently concerned that the US economy is entering into a recession period, and that could involve less consumer spending, a cutback on salaries, reduction of jobs, etc., etc. And with that concern hanging overhead, a Disney World vacation may just end up adding more stress to the issue rather than helping. If you want to wait on a big trip to see how the recession pans out, that's completely understandable. After all, a vacation shouldn't add stress to your life, it should relieve it. Not to mention, if the potential of a recession doesn't impact you financially during 2023, this could be the perfect opportunity for you to save some funds for one more year in order to pull off the Disney World vacation of your dreams. Another reason you may not go in 2023, you want a trip you can plan by the seat of your pants. Disney World isn't a trip you can improvise. Remember that list of pre-planning must-dos that I mentioned earlier? If you don't want to put in the research to pull off this massive vacation undertaking just yet, then you might want to plan a 2023 vacation that's a little less taxing and more readily available for you to take whenever the mood strikes. And that doesn't mean you need to avoid a Florida vacation altogether. There are still tons of different offerings for you to choose from that wouldn't take a whole lot of extra planning. You could go to the beach, visit local shops, book a nice resort, maybe go kayaking or paddle boarding down some of the Florida rivers. Be careful of those gators. And you could eat some fresh seafood. The state is your oyster. If 2022 was pretty stressful for you and you're just looking to take a deep breath and rest for a bit, then skip the Disney World parks and take some much needed R&R. Now, this next one is the reason why I wouldn't go to Disney World in 2023, and that's if you hate crowds. We saw some massive crowds in 2022. Ride wait times pushed into the triple digits frequently, restaurants booked up within seconds of their advanced dining reservation releases, and pathways bottlenecked to the point we felt like we needed to come up for air at some point. Now, there's a chance that crowds won't be as high as they were in 2022 because of the potential recession and the concept of revenge traveling after COVID-19 shutdowns finally letting up just a bit. But with all the new stuff that's been announced, and with Disney World just continuing to be one of the hottest vacation destinations of all time, we're still expecting an influx of people. If this is something that stresses you out, but you still want to go to Disney World really bad, don't let the idea of the parks being too people-y derail your plans. We recently posted a video talking about the 50 ways you can avoid crowds in Disney World, and it's got a lot of good information to help you navigate around the masses. But if you'd rather not drop a lot of money on a vacation where you'll see tons and tons of people everywhere you turn, the Disney World parks may not be a very fun place for you at the moment. Another reason you may want to skip Disney World in 2023, you want to cruise instead. When you go to the Disney parks, you need to be prepared for some rather intense days of walking tens of thousands of steps on top of waiting in massive ride lines. If that doesn't sound exhausting to you, then awesome, you've got to be Superman incarnate. But Disney has an alternative vacation for those looking for less walking and more relaxing, and those are the cruises. Disney's got several different cruise offerings available for you to choose from. There's the Disney Magic, the Disney Wonder, the Fantasy, and the Dream. And the newest option of the fleet, the Disney Wish, which just launched in 2022. Each cruise provides different sailing itineraries with ports of call including Disney's Castaway Cay private island or other destinations in the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Northern Europe, the Mediterranean, Alaska, Canada, and many others too. A stateroom, with some even including an ocean view or a view with a private veranda. Several restaurants, which are for the most part included with the price of your room. Live entertainment, kids and teens clubs, and so much more. Now don't get me wrong, a Disney cruise still takes quite a bit of planning before you reach those ultimate relaxation vibes, but if you want to cut down on all that extra planning stress, you can always reach out to our friends at Small World Vacations. They'll help you pull off the ultimate Disney cruise vacation. They can take some of the pressure off your shoulders and track down the best deals to give you the best price point. Did I mention they're completely free to use? Because they are. I'll link their information down below so you can check them out and their services whenever you get the chance. And another reason you might not want to go to Disney World in 2023, you're kind of burnt out. Even if you feel like you're Disney World's #1 fan, it's okay to admit you're feeling kind of burnt out on the parks right now. It's like eating your favorite food over and over again. It might be your favorite, but that doesn't mean you're required to eat it for every meal. But I'm not just talking about burnout from over visiting the parks, because wouldn't that be lucky? You may also be feeling burnout because of the consistent stream of price increases, or the Genie Plus rules, or the intense crowd levels, or you might just be tired of the political drama going on behind the scenes. It's okay to take a break from Disney World to visit someplace new. Disney will still be around when you're ready to come back, even if that's a year from now, or 5 years from now, or even 10 years down the road. In the end, the choice for whether this is your year to take on that big Disney World vacation is in your hands. If you're excited to experience all the new offerings and you've saved a good amount of travel funds throughout 2022, it's time to take the next steps and figure out tickets and hotels. But if you want to wait a bit more for some of the current hecticness to pass on by, or you want to go somewhere else that's new and exciting and may offer something more unique to check off your travel bucket list, don't feel obligated to go the Disney parks route. The vacation you book, whether it be a Disney one or not, should fill you with the excitement of adventure and not stress and dread. In the meantime, the DFB crew will be here to help you plan your Disney World vacation for 2023 and beyond, and also give you great tips for travel elsewhere. So keep swinging on by for more restaurant reviews, travel tips, and secret tricks to come. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.